Let's rewind and play our movie to see what we have so far. Because we've added the go loop behavior, our animation continues on indefinitely. Still, it's not very interesting. We want this to be an interactive animation, so we will need to add some more behaviors to our score. Let's stop our movie. Okay. These behaviors, in contrast to the go loop behavior, which we just added, will be attached to sprites in our score. Behaviors that are attached to sprites are called, surprise, sprite behaviors. The first one that we'll add is called Sprite Track Mouse. And it is located under a different section. It's located under Animation, Interactive. Let's see. Let's drag this behavior into our cast window. First, let's find it. It's called Sprite Track Mouse. And we may have a little difficulty getting this to work. Here we go. Let's fly this open. Okay. Let's move our cast window over. And Sprite Track Mouse is what we want. Let's drag that into our cast window. Okay. Now, we can see what this behavior does by pausing our mouse cursor over the behavior in our library palette. It says, makes a sprite move to follow the cursor around the stage so that the center of the sprite is under the cursor. Now we want to use this behavior to, let's actually close our library palette here. Okay. We want to use this behavior to cause our fly swatter sprite, which is kind of under here. Okay. We want to use this so that the fly swatter sprite moves wherever our cursor moves. Now, given this, what sprite do you think we're going to attach this behavior to? Well, where of course we want the fly swatter to exhibit this behavior, and so we're going to add it to our fly swatter sprite, and that is in channel 8. Okay, so we just drag it on top of our sprite. There's several ways that we can add a behavior to a sprite in the score, and this is the one I'm going to show you first, and that's just to take the behavior and drag it on top of the sprite in the score. Now, many behaviors need information in order to function properly. Therefore, when you attach a behavior, it will often bring up a dialog box asking you to specify some parameters for the sprite, just as this one did. Now, in this instance, it asks you if you want to center the sprite on the cursor, and if you want the position of the sprite to be limited to the stage area. Sometimes these parameters can be a bit cryptic and confusing, and you may need to just experiment around with different settings to see what effect they have. In this instance, center the sprite on cursor means that the sprite's center point will be directly over wherever the cursor is if this is checked. Now, if this isn't checked, the sprite's registration point will be directly over the cursor. Now, these can be different, and in fact are so in this instance. The other parameter, limited to stage area, if checked, will keep the sprite from following the cursor should it move off of the stage area. Let's unselect both and see what this looks like. You say OK. Let's rewind and play our movie. First, let's move these things out of the way here. Let's rewind and play our movie. All right. Now notice if we move our cursor off of the stage, here, our fly swatter follows off of the stage. Okay. Also notice the position of the fly swatter relative to the cursor. It's in the center of the netting. If we change the parameter, it will be in a different place. Okay, let's stop for the moment. And let's change the parameters for this behavior. There are several ways to do this. The first thing I'm going to show you is to select the sprite that has the behavior attached to it, which is this one, and to click the Behavior Inspector button either at the top of the Director window or at the top of the Score window. Either one will do the same thing. All right, this brings up the Behavior Inspector, and we select the behavior in question, which is Sprite Track Mouse, and click the Behavior Parameters button right here. Now this brings up the same dialog box that we saw before when we originally attached the behavior, and we can change these parameters. And let's do that. Change this and that. Take a look and see what effect this has. We can close the parameters window, and now we close the Behavior Inspector. We rewind, play our movie. Notice first the position of the fly swatter in relation to the cursor. It's at sort of the junction of the netting and the handle because it's centered now over the center of the cast member rather than its registration point. Also notice, if I try to drag this off of the stage, it stops at the stage border. My mouse cursor is way over here off of the stage, but the fly swatter itself does not follow. So that's the effect that these parameters had on that particular behavior. I kind of liked it better the other way, so I'm going to switch it back. This time I'm going to open the Behavior Inspector in a different way. And the way I'm going to do it is by selecting the sprite in question on the stage. I'm going to press the right mouse button, and this brings up a contextual menu. And if I choose Behaviors, this also brings up the Behavior Inspector. So that's just another way of accessing the Behavior Inspector for a particular sprite. So I'm going to select my behavior in question in my Behavior Inspector, click the parameters, and this time I'm going to undo both of these. Okay? Say OK, close it, and I'm back the way it was before. Let's rewind and play. Notice now it goes off the stage. And it's also centered on sort of the center of the netting now, which is different than it was before. There you go.